Good morning, Oasis family. Welcome to day 17 of prayer and fasting. It's Wednesday and we're right in the middle of the week. And today we're choosing kindness. Following Jesus is a choice. And choosing kindness is something that is so important because if you remember, Jesus asked us before he went back to heaven to be with his Father to do one very important thing. And that was to love others the way that he loved them. Oh, how do we love like Jesus? Well, we could start with kindness. And kindness doesn't mean being kind to someone who's kind to you. It means being kind to that person on the road who cut you off. It means being kind to your children when they're having a meltdown or have decided that the color blue is evil and that they should throw all of their blue clothes out of the closet. I don't know what it might be for you. For me, it's usually my kids having an argument. I have 3 boys and sometimes they get pretty intense. My 2 youngest like to do the whole back and forth for a very long time to the point where I'm like, I'm ending this argument. It's done. And it's hard as the one ending the argument to do that with love and kindness and to do it in a way that helps them understand how harmful continuing it could be. So how do you choose kindness? Paul addresses the church of Ephesus in the book of Ephesians in a letter that he wrote to them. And he wrote this letter to a group of baby Christians who is just learning how to follow Jesus and how to really live out their faith. And here's how Paul tells them to choose kindness. In chapter 4, verses 31 through 32, he says this: "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor," I have a lot of clamor at my house, "and slander be put away from you." Don't even keep it around you. "Along with all malice." Malice sounds bad. If you don't know what malice is, go look it up in the dictionary. It's not pretty. "Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you." If you were with us 3 days ago, you got the forgiveness talk. Now we're getting the kindness talk, which also involves forgiveness. It's another way we can show love. But you notice how first, before we can show kindness, we have to take all that ball of angry and we have to put it away from us. That doesn't mean we're never going to be angry. It doesn't mean we're not going to have negative feelings. It just means that when we have those feelings, we have to be like, "God, I'm real angry. My cup doth overflow. Can you please take it away from me?" Because you know what? God's not scared of your emotions. He's not scared of your angry. God is not up there going, "Oh, Hannah, I just need you to be kind all the time." No, God's up there and going, "Yeah, that was really rude. He shouldn't have done that. But I'm going to need you to be my hands on earth right now because you are the one they can see. You are the one they can hear, and you are the one that they are following or not following, especially in the case of our children." So when you feel those feelings welling up inside of you, that anger, that malice, that clamor, that bitterness towards maybe a person that has not been very kind to you, I want you to take all that feeling and give it to God and say, "God, this is how I'm feeling. This is what I want to do, but I'm going to need your spirit to move in me. I'm going to need you to do something with this broken heart of mine so that I can send out kindness." Because right now what I want to send out is not okay. It's bad. It's real bad. And you know what? He promises us that he will help us. That's why Jesus said, "I'm sending you an advocate. I'm sending you a helper so you don't have to navigate this all by yourself. You don't have to figure out how to be tender-hearted towards the person that wronged you at work. So that you don't have to figure out how you're going to forgive that kid at school that won't leave you alone. You get to do it because you have the Spirit of God inside of you who is helping you, who can help you process the anger and the hurt and the clamoring and the slander. And instead of saying it to the person who is broken, you say it to God who can handle it all. And then he can take that brokenness and he can help you to be kind and to choose kindness even when it's hard. Tomorrow we are going to have a prayer time at 9:30 and 10:30. So if you're struggling with any of this is a good time to come. We're going to have devotions and community prayer. You're welcome to join us here at Oasis. But today, let's ask God to help us. Let's ask him to give us opportunities for kindness, which is a big ask because sometimes choosing kindness involves having to forgive. It involves having to be tender-hearted, having to get out of our own way and let God move through us. Jesus, you are so kind. You were kind to people who spit at you. You were kind to people who tried to grab you on the streets. You were kind to people who were broken and lost and had nothing. Jesus, help us to be kind. Help us to be tenderhearted. Help us to put aside our anger and our malice, to put aside our clamoring, and to allow our minds to see the kindness that we can give to those around us, even when it's difficult. In Jesus'